want to give those honors to the apostles, the elders, the great wisdom, teach well, and hearty shalom to the elect. All right. It's another camp day through the spirit power of Yahweh Shai. And it's a good day. It's nice and hot outside. It's not cold. And the words of the Lord must be spoken. All right. This is in the book of Baruch. The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, "This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh and the law that endureth forever. All keeping shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die." And two-thirds of our people have left the Lord. What I mean by that is they continue to do the things that the Lord commands us not to do. One thing is idol worship. Okay, another thing is spiritual, which is spiritual adultery. It's idol worship. But you also have the adultery. You also have things such as homosexuality, okay, eating abominable foods. All those things are within our law for us to do to keep us separate from the nation. Okay? I think this is Deuteronomy. I think it's in Deuteronomy. Yes, this is Deuteronomy. Yeah, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, "Now therefore hearken." It says, "Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you for to do them, for that ye may live and go in and possess the land which Yahweh your power of your fathers giveth you." All right. And that land is the land of Israel, man. Okay. And as of right now, we are not in our land because of us not clinging unto the ways of the Lord, us forsaking the ways of the Lord. Okay. All right. All right. Us forsaking the ways of the Lord. Again in Baruch, he says, "This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die." So if you keep these words, all right, to the best of your ability, you won't get put to death, man. All right? Because guess what? The wages of sin is death, okay? And if you do things that are worthy of death, the Lord's gonna put you to death. It's that cut and dry, okay? It's that cut and dry. Verse 2, it says, "Ye shall not add unto," this is Deuteronomy 4 and 2, it says, "Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of your Yahweh, your power, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did because of for all Peor, for all the men that followed for all Peor, Yahweh has destroyed them from among you. And that's what the Lord's going to do to two-thirds of our people. Right? Because they're still in the mindset of spiritual idolatry. They're still in the mindset of continuing to be an American. All right. When this word has gone out throughout the four corners of the globe to tell you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians that you are the Lord's chosen people. Okay, and within you being the Lord's chosen people, your conduct must be in a certain manner. Okay, and if your conduct is in a certain manner, then you don't have anything to worry about. Okay, how y'all doing? Good. How are you? Doing good. It says, your eyes have seen what the Lord Yahweh did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that follow Baal Peor, Yahweh thy power hath destroyed them from among you. And that's what the Lord's going to do to two-thirds of our people, man. He's going to destroy them. All right, let's look up that. I want to look up that word destroy. All right, because the severity of what the Lord is going to do, it can't be comprehended, man. Because we can imagine it, but what the Lord's going to actually do is totally different, man. Okay, from what we imagine. Okay, so the word for destroy, the word for destroy in the Hebrew, the word for destroy in the Hebrew is shamad. Okay, it says to destroy, exterminate, to be destroyed, to annihilate, be exterminated. Okay, let's look at these words. Exterminate, destroy completely. All right, that's what the Lord is going to do to two-thirds of our people. He's going to destroy them completely, man. So if you don't want to be caught up in the wrath of the Lord, you got to take heed to what the men of the Lord are saying on the highways and hedges, man. Okay, you don't want to be completely destroyed. You don't want to be part of a massacre, because that's what the Lord is going to do to this place. It's going to be a massacre. The scriptures say from one end of the earth even until the other, the Lord's going to destroy people. All right, I'm gonna get it. All right. The word devastated is dex. Devastated, destroy or ruin, shatter. Okay. Like when you throw a glass on the floor, you drop a plate or you drop a glass, it shatters everywhere. All right. That's how America's going to be. That's how the people of the Lord, the people's body, are going to be all over the damn places of America. They're going to be shattered everywhere. Okay. All right. Destroyed, it says put an end to the existence of something by damaging it or attacking it. Demolish. And that's what the Lord's gonna do to two-thirds of our people, put an end to their wickedness, and he's gonna do the same thing to the so-called white man. Okay, put an end to his wickedness by destroying him. Okay, by putting an end to his existence. Okay, all right. Exterminated. I think I looked that up already. Annihilated. Let's look at that word. Destroy utterly, obliterate. All right, that's what the Lord's going to do. Okay, the Lord's going to do that to the so-called white man. The Lord's going to do that to two-thirds of our people that are wicked. The Lord's going to do that to America. All right, y'all people have to take heed, man, because destruction is coming. You can see that the war is brewing up, and it's not looking good for America morally, geopolitically, and economically. And since there's not going to be any economic turn to a positive aspect, the people in America are going to start turning against each other. They're going to be running up in your house. You're going to run up in your neighbor's house to feed your family, or vice versa is going to happen because the price of things are skyrocketing. People can barely afford gas in some states. There's some states that's ran out of gas. Florida, North Carolina, I've seen through social media, don't know how true it is, but that's going to only lead to some type of turmoil within the streets of America if people can't get to work to feed the needs of a job, because the job is what's paying them to maintain the lifestyle that they have. Okay, but nonetheless, the Lord's going to obliterate this place, man. I utterly destroy. That's what annihilate means. This is what the Lord is coming to do to America. This is what the Lord is coming to do to two-thirds of our people. This is what the Lord is coming to do to the so-called white man. Okay? All right? Let's get that right quick. To put to an end, because that's what the Lord's going to do to Esau. This is Obadiah chapter 1, And verse 17, it says, "But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possession. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken." So if you put it into something, all right, if you put it into something, that means there's nothing left of it to remain. Okay, all right. So the Lord is going to annihilate. All right, let me see if that was the word. Nope, I think it was exterminate. Yeah, destroy. It says destroy, put an end to the existence of by damaging or attacking it. And the Lord is going to put an end to the existence of the so-called white man, as I just read. Okay, but the Lord's going to put an end to the wickedness of the 2/3 by the famine, by the sword, by any form of destruction, by pestilence and diseases. The Lord's going to come do that, man. All right, so this is why we got to be in the spirit of changing who we are, so we don't get caught up in the wrath of the Lord, if that's the will of the Lord for us. Okay. Let me go back to Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 3. No, 4. It says, "But ye did not, but ye that did cleave unto Yahweh your power are alive, every one of you this day." All right, and that's what the elect is going to be doing. They're going to be cleaving unto the Lord. They're going to be holding on to him because the Lord gave them this word. Okay, and they're going to act in accordance with this word. Their conduct is not going to be the conduct of what you see as an individual of the world. Okay, all right. And that word for cleave in my footnotes, it says held fast to. So the elect are going to be holding fast unto Yahweh Shemal Shai. Okay. It says here, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land where ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them. This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall say all these statutes and say, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath Yahweh so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day?" There's no nation that has this. There will never be another nation that has this. Okay, this covenant that the Lord has made with the Israelites further solidified that we are his people, man. We are special unto the Lord. Okay, let me get that in Deuteronomy 7:6. Okay, these other nations are not as special as the world thinks they are. Okay, this is Deuteronomy chapter 7. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 7. I might start at 1. Yeah, I'm going to start at 1. It says, "When Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou go to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Pezerites, the Hivites, and Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them." All right, we're not in a time of, killing the other nations. That's not what we're here to do. All right, we're here to preach the word unto the Lord's people. Okay, but the Lord putting us in our own land back in those times, Jacob was authorized to go ahead and do what Esau is doing right now. All right, doing a mass killing to, dictate to get them into that land process. Okay, that's what Esau Edom is doing right now throughout the world, trying to take over certain countries with the force of the sword. Okay, all right, but we are not to do that in this time. Okay, we also not to make any promises with them, man, because especially the so-called white man, he breaks his promises to everybody. All right, he talks about ceasefires and this, that, and the third. This is just one example of most recent notable times in the news. All right, as soon as they call for a ceasefire, he's breaking it by shooting missiles on another country. It may not be specifically America, but it's an American ally that's doing that, or it's America itself doing it. But nonetheless, never trust thine enemy. All right, and your enemy is those that are trying to oppress you. Okay. That's why the Lord, if you kept the Passover within the Passover prayers, all right, you throw curses and judgments on your enemy, so the Lord can destroy them, put them to a complete end, okay, a devastating end, okay, all right. But going on to verse 3, neither shalt thou make marriages with them, thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his sons, nor his daughters shall take unto thy sons. For they will turn away the sun from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. All right, so we're not supposed to be in a fashion, all right, of getting so involved with the woman that you go off and you start worshiping their gods. All right, this is talking about keeping us separated from the other nations, showing that the Lord has given us standards to live by to keep us separate from the other nations, which we as men of the Lord, all right, and people of the Lord need to try to abide by. Okay? All right, especially the thing of going off and worshiping idols, man. That's not a thing for us to do. Verse 5 it says, but thus shall ye deal with them, ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. The Lord is going to do that in this time. That's not something that we're going to do. When the Lord comes to destroy America, everything in this motherfucker is going to be burnt on fire, man. All the images, all the altars, all the groves, okay? All their graven images. Everything's going to be destroyed, man. The Lord is going to do that and call all Yahweh Shem outside. Because that's going to be a righteous thing that the Lord does, man. But we do not have the power and or authority to do so right now. Again, what is our lot to do? To preach the word to the people, man. All right? To preach the word to the people so that we can get delivered out of this wicked ass society, man, that you see is crumbling. Okay, this place is crumbling so bad that you see TikTok videos on, social media where people are going around saying, hey, there was the one video where the guy was looking at the store and it was toilet paper. It was like $20 for a thing of toilet paper, a box, a case, whatever you want to call it, a toilet paper. And he was like, people can't even afford the shit no more. All right, because everything that was given to individuals as a convenience is now coming back on them to bite them in the ass because it's not really a convenience when you can't afford it, right? And food is getting more and more expensive, right? With food getting more and more expensive, how the food is transferred to the stores are getting more and more expensive. Gas is going up because of uh, this war that's going on right now between U.S., Israel, and Iran. All right, these things only have an economic effect on you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and the rest of the world now, to the point where it's going to be hostility towards each other. All right, and this is a good thing, man. This is a good thing because these things must happen before we get up out of here. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 7:6. This is the point. I'm gonna keep going too. It says, "For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Yahweh did not set his love upon you nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people, but because Yahweh loved you and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, that Yahweh Salaki has Yahweh brought you up with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. All right. So because the Lord keeps his word. All right. So if the Lord keeps his word back in the Old Testament time, don't think that he's not going to keep his word here in this time. Okay. All right. The only thing that's changed is how many times the sun is going around the earth. All right. And the people are coming back. They're being reincarnated every so 100 years, every century or so. All right. The, the architecture has changed. The way people do things has changed to a certain extent. Okay. But at the end of the day, the Lord doesn't change. Okay. Let me get this. I think it's, this is Hebrews 13 and 8. It says, Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever. Okay. And if Yahweh Shai is that way, guess who else is that way? The Heavenly Father. Because Yahweh Shai came in the stead of his Father. So if Yahweh Shai is the same, his Son is if Yahweh is the same, Yahweh Shai is the same. All right? They're not going to change what they say. All right? This is Hebrews 1 and verse 8. No, 7. It says, but the angels, he says, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. But unto the Son, he saith, thy throne, O power, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Therefore, power, even thou, Yahweh, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. And thou, Yahweh, in the beginning hast laid the foundation of the earth and the heavens and the works of thine hands. They shall perish, but thou remainest, and they all shall wax old as a garment, as doth a garment, and as a vesture shalt thou fold them up, and they shall be changed. But thou art the same, and thy years shall not fail. Right? The Lord doesn't change, man. And how Shai will change. The things that the Lord has commanded to happen, they're gonna happen. The Lord doesn't, have a respect of persons. The Lord's not gonna change prophecy or something that He has lined up to happen because somebody feels a certain way. All right, that's not how the Lord works. Okay, that's how Christianity may work. That's how the things of the people of the way of the world may work. But the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai doesn't work that way. So if the Lord's people were always his people from the beginning, right? How are other individuals going to jump into that and make themselves as the Lord's people, or special unto the Lord? It's not possible. It's not going to happen. I don't care what nobody says. What they say doesn't refute what the Bible says. Okay? All right? It says here, verse 9. This is Deuteronomy 7 and 9. Know therefore thou that Yahweh thy power, he is power, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repave them that hate him to their face. To destroy them, he will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay them to his face. So those that hate the Lord's going to repay you to your face, man. Okay? It says here, and that he's going to destroy you, man. If you show that you can't do what the Lord requires you to do, just as the nation of Israel as a whole is destroyed, the Lord's going to destroy you individually. All right? The Lord's going to put an end to you individually. All right? It says here, thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do. All right, and that's what we're supposed to do. Keep the commandments, keep the blessings, okay? But if we don't, when we don't, all right, the Lord puts a certain situation upon us where we could possibly be put to death, man, for not doing the things that the Lord commands us to do. All right. But the Lord, my point in reading all that is the Lord has only chosen his people. All right, is only dealing with the Israelites. All right, he's not dealing with everybody else. All right, so going back to the book of Baruch, all right, you know what? Going to Jeremiah, there was something I was listening to in Jeremiah the other day with the word that I was listening to, but all right, this is Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 10. It says here, thus saith Yahweh unto this people, they have loved to wander, they they have loved to wander, they have not refrained their feet, therefore, therefore Yahweh doth not accept them. He will not remember their iniquity and visit their sins. Right? And let's see what it says, and punish them for their sins. Okay. And then said Yahweh unto me, pray not for this people for their good. When they fast, I will not hear their cry. And when they offer burnt offerings and oblations, I will not accept them. I will consume them by the sword and by famine and by pestilence. All right, the Lord, this is what the Lord's going to do to 2/3 of our people, man. All right. Let's look up some of these words, okay? Because it's important that we know how the Lord is coming, so we can come correct, so we can have that appropriate fear of the Lord, okay? All right, and do the things that is pleasing unto the Lord. This is in Jeremiah the 14th chapter. Let me read that in let me read this in a basic Bible for English. I think that's what BBE. All right, but nonetheless, it says when they. I'm gonna start up. This is at 9. This is Jeremiah 14 and 9. Why are you like a man surprised, like a man of war who is not able to give help? But you, O Yahweh, are with us, and we are named by your name. Do not go away from us. This is what Yahweh has said about this people. Even so, they that have they even so they have been glad to go from the right way. It's like you my sign. Nonetheless, says, this is what Yahweh has said about this people. Even so, they have been glad to go from the right way. They have not kept their feet from wandering. So Yahweh has no pleasure in them. Now he will keep their wrongdoings in mind and send punishment for their sins. All right, and that's what happens, man. When we transgress the ways of the Lord, we get punished. That punishment can come ultimately by death, okay? It says here, and Yahweh said to me, make no prayer for this people for their good. When they go without food, I will not give ear to their cry. When they give burnt offerings and meal offerings, I will not take pleasure in them, but I will put an end to them by the sword and by and by the need of food and by disease. Okay? That's how the Lord's going to do this, man. All right, that's how the Lord's going to break down people here in modern day Babylon. Okay? That's how the Lord's going to break people down here in America. 2/3 of our people. Y'all gonna feel the brunt of this, man. Okay? All right, so let's see. All right, so I keep trying to get on. Be all right with you if I took a picture of your son. You go right on ahead, sir. How you doing today? I can't complain, sir. Just out here preaching the word. Heck yeah, I love it. I love it. Thank you. Jesus saved my life, brother. That's good. That's good. 2 years ago, I was running amok, smoking meth, living in a dope house. Okay, yeah, it's changed. You changed. That's good. Absolutely. That's good. 100%. You changed. God bless you. God bless you as well, sir. I'm trying to change the parallel Bibles to the thing. Let me see. All right, it's just backwards, but I know where I need to look at. So this is the words that I wanted to go into, and the word consume. The word consume for in the Hebrew, the word consume is kala. It says to cease, to end, fail, finish. All right, to be complete, be put at an end. All right, and that's what's going to happen to 2/3 of the Lord's people, man. All right. The other word I wanted to look at, so they're going to be put to end by the sword. They're going to be put to end. Uh, let's look at the word sword. It says sword, a knife. All right, sword. The modern day sword is a gun. The modern day sword is pestilence. The modern day sword is various weather patterns that Esau Edom has power and control of with the harp system. Okay, the modern sword could be diseases that he could implant into your body. All right, through ways of pandemics. Okay, the modern day sword is the media. All right, because it changes who you are mentally, all right, and physically. In some instances, things that people here can have them inflict self harm. All right, another form of the sword can be another person, right? Because another person can say something to you that can cause you to inflict harm on somebody else and yourself, man. So the sword it goes into various things, okay? All right, but it says so people are going to be put to end by the sword, by famine. Let's look up what the word famine says here. All right, the word famine here it says hunger. All right, famine. Let's look up. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Famine says a scarcity of food, a shortage. Okay, so if there's going to be a shortage or a scarcity of food, how do you think it's going to balance out with millions of people here in America and only certain individuals can have food or they stocked up food or they learn how to grow food? All right, it's not going to play out well. All right, it's not going to play out well because people are going to be robbing, killing, looting, and stealing to feed their family. All right, a famine that says extreme scarcity of food. All right, let's see what hunger says. Hunger is an uncomfortable or painful physical sensation and weakened state caused by a lack of food resulting from the need of sustenance. All right, it says it acts as a bodily signal motivating food consumption, commonly manifesting as stomach contractions. It also refers to a strong craving or desire for something, such as hunger for power. All right, so hunger goes into a painful physical sensation, all right, because of a lack of food. All right, this is what people gonna be going through, man. All right, here in America. Okay, people gonna be going through this type of stuff. All right. Yeah, it's all good. Get them another day, you know. Yes, sir. That's all you can do. Just keep being positive, man. There you go. You do the same, sir. Um, Hunger is coming. Pestilence is coming. Let's get that word pestilence. The word for pestilence is the bear, the bar. All right, it says pestilence plague, cattle disease, cattle plague. So let's look up pestilence. The definition for pestilence is it says a fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague. Right? So plague, a contagious bacterial disease characterized by fever and delirium, typically with the formation of babees or the bubonic plague and sometimes infection of the lungs. All right, that's what's gonna be happening now, man. All right, let's see what this word is. Murrain. It says murrain is an infectious disease, especially babiosis, affecting cattle or other animals. All right, it's all going down, man. And this is how 2/3 of our people are going to be taken out, as well as the wicked. Okay, let me go back to reading. This is Jeremiah 14 and verse 13. Then said I, Yahweh power, behold, the prophet say unto them, ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye see famine, but I will give you a surety peace in this place. And that's what 2/3 of our people are saying when they out here listening, or when they here going to these churches, when they in here listening to these false prophets. All right, there's all manner of deception going on in the world. All right, but when you can see nothing but evils in a place, and then on top of that, a place that's showing you nothing but evils. Okay, then on top of that, uh, you hear somebody saying peace this and peace that, and I can give you this and I can give you that. But when you go home, you at the bottom. When you look in your neighborhoods, it's everybody else just like you, right? So where's the peace coming in? Where's the prosperity coming in when you go to these churches, you give your pastor this money, or you listen to these false prophets and they're telling you, dog, everything's going to be all right. The Lord's not coming back in your time. All right, well, they're wrong, leading you astray. Okay? It says here, verse 14. Then Yahweh said unto me, the prophets prophesied in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and a divination, a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart. And that's what they're doing when they give you this, preaching unto you this prosperity doctrine. All right, that's what they're doing unto you when they do that. That's what they doing unto you when they try to uh, have you live by unlivable standards. You know, right? What I mean by that is some Hebrew Israelite groups, they have you go to certain courthouses and change your last name or change your name to something something Ben Israel. Okay, they'll tell you that the mark of the beast is not the RFID chip. They'll tell you things of that nature, right? But those things are only going to leave you high and dry at the end of the day. You're going to be destroyed. Okay, you're going to be destroyed. All right, and it's not going to be a good thing, man. All right. It says here, verse 15, therefore, thus saith Yahweh concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in the land. Behold, by sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. And the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast in the streets and Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword, and they shall have none to bury them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour their wickedness upon them. So the Lord's fury is going to come upon the individuals because of their wickedness, man. All right, because of the things that they've done. All right, uh, idol worshiping, not believing the prophets of the Lord, believing in prosperity doctrine, doing everything contrary to the truth, man, that they've been taught. Okay, all right, or that they're learning. Okay, or have learned. Okay, the only thing that's going to come from them is for them is death and destruction. That's it. Okay, it says, say, therefore thou shalt say this word unto them. Let let my eyes run down with tears night and day, and let them cease not. For the virgin daughter of my people is broken with a great breach, and with a great breach with a very grievous blow. All right, and it came from the Lord ultimately, but it's because of what it is that we have done. All right, the great blow came by way of Nebuchadnezzar to take the southern kingdom out of the land, and then the Assyrian kingdom, they took the northern kingdom out of the land. Okay, all right, and it all goes back into, if you read the stories of the kings, what the kings were doing, that the people ended up doing, and then it ended up the Lord judging the whole nation as a whole. Okay, all right, by removing us out of the land, by scattering us to the four corners of the globe, by taking away our heritage, by us not knowing who we are. Okay, all right. It says here, if I go forth into the field, then behold, the slain with the sword. If I enter into the city, then behold, them that are sick with famine. Yea, both the prophet and the priest go about into a land that they know not. All right. So this is what you're going to see here in America, man. You're going to see people sick from famine. You're going to see people laid out in the streets from the sword because of the individuals that are having those hunger pains. They can't feed their kids. They're going to come in and ransack your home. Okay, they're going to go into your storage where you got all this extra excess food. They're going to come down and take your shit, man. Okay, they're going to come take your shit. Then what you going to do? At the end of the day, you only subject to what the Lord put you through. But if you're a man of the Lord gonna look out for you. If you've been working and singing, dancing to the song that has been sung unto you through the prophets, okay, then the Lord may have mercy on you. All right. We don't know. I don't know. I hope the Lord has mercy on me and my family. But I'm gonna keep singing and I'm gonna keep dancing to the things that's been sung unto me. Okay. All right. What I mean by that is applying the scriptures. Okay. Applying the scriptures to your life. Like I was out here telling whomever listened and heard the video, that we need to change who we are. Changing who you are comes through a reprocess of the things that are in your mind. Okay. And the only way that's going to happen, all right, is if the Lord is willing to have you change yourself. If it's the Lord's will for you to change. Okay. If it's not the Lord's will for you to change, then you're not going to change. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay. All right. This is I'm gonna keep reading. This is Jeremiah 14 and 19. Hast thou utterly rejected Judah? Hast thou so loathed Zion? Why hast thou smitten us, and there is no healing for us? We look for peace, and there is no good, and for the time of healing, and behold, trouble. All right, so Jake don't want to turn to the Lord. When they do turn to the Lord, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. All right. Verse 20, we acknowledge, O Yahweh, our wickedness and the iniquity of our fathers, for we have sinned against thee. How do we acknowledge it and know about the wickedness of our fathers today? All right, because when I was younger and I read the Bible, I didn't understand anything. All right, but I had to have men teach me through the Holy Spirit to give me understanding about the sins of myself and the sins of my forefathers. Okay, so it's through the Spirit of the Lord, man, because this book is sealed to those that don't need to know. All right, but it's open for those that the Lord needs to know so that they can go do their part, okay, in preaching the gospel. All right. And I see this Jake, he's walking from Philadelphia to California, and it's comical, right? because he's out there, talking to people in the name of Jesus Christ, man. What has Jesus Christ done for you, Jake? And then you got this NBA player, right? Who has been ostracized because of the wickedness that America produces, right? Now he's talking about going to theological school or going to be a pastor when that has no substance at all, man. Okay, that has no substance at all. That man gave up $1 million career, great, good for him, right? But being in the mindset of being a Christian pastor is not going to help you nor your people, man. Okay, the only thing that's going to help you and your people is you come out here and you tell them who they are, man, according to the Bible, not according to Christianity and what you learned in theological school. Okay, not nothing you learn from a pastor. Okay, learn from men that's been laboring on the streets for decades. Okay, starting off with the apostles and bishops and elders of Great Millstone. Okay, all right. But the acknowledgement of our wickedness comes from those great men. It doesn't come from these church pastors. It doesn't come from somebody walking down the street from Philadelphia to California, praying over people in the name of Jesus when they don't even know who they praying to, or why they getting prayed for, or even if you should be praying for those people, right? That's the questions that you need to be asking yourself before you go out there to do some stupid shit, such as being a Christian. Okay. Nonetheless, continuing on, Jeremiah 14:21, do not abhor us for thy name's sake, do not disgrace the throne of thy glory. Remember, thou, break not the covenant with thy covenant with us. Are there any among the vanities of the Gentiles that can cause rain, or can the heavens give showers? Art thou not he, O Yahweh, our power, that will wait upon, therefore we will wait upon thee, for thou hast made all these things, right? So we can't be in here in our minds thinking about another God going to save us when these other gods don't have the power to create the things that Yahweh has created. Okay, these other gods are just like it says in I think it's Sirach 14. Oh, it's 12. Oh, it's Wisdom of Solomon. I'm looking at Sirach, but it's not. It's Wisdom of Solomon. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, and verse 8. It says here, but for 7, it says, for blessed is the wood whereby righteousness cometh, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well as he that made it, he because he made it, and it because being corruptible, it was called God. Right? So things that are fashioned with the hands of man, such as this image right here, all right, it's an idol. Okay? It says, for the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto Yahweh. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation because in the creature of Yahweh they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the soul of men and snares to the feet of the unwise. All right, this is what an idol does. It causes you to slip. Okay, it causes you to go backwards. All right, that's what it does. All right. So all these people that are out here of the tribes of Israel worshiping Jesus Christ, out here worshiping Buddha, Allah, Saint Maria, whatever other gods, the eight-armed gods, Sheba, they out here worshiping the woman, they out here worshiping money. All right, whatever they giving their full attention to, that's their God, man. And it's gonna get you destroyed along with it. Okay. All right, it says here, for neither were there for neither from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. Right? There was only one God from the beginning. His name is Yahweh. Okay? That these other gods that are crafted with the hands of men, they won't be forever. All right? They can't even make it rain. All right? I think that's what it's gonna go into. All right, I seem to keep reading. It says here, for by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore they shall come shortly to an end. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a power, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Thus, in the process of time, an ungodly custom, grown strong, was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings. Right, and that's the same thing that's happening today. All right. These unjust commandments keep you so-called individuals in these churches looking for a way out through white Jesus when the only way out is Yahweh Shai. Okay. It says here, whom men could not honor in priest and presence because they dwelt far off, they took the counterfeit of his visage from far, and made an express image of a king whom they honored to the end by their fortness. It says here that they might flatter him that was absent as if he were present. Also, a singular diligence to the artificer did help set did help to set forth the ignorant to more superstition. This ain't it, but I'm gonna keep reading. And so the multitude of Lord by the grace of the work took him now for a power which a little before was honored as a man. And this was an occasion to deceive the world, for men serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe unto stones and stocks the incommunicable name. Okay. All right. They tried to put God to the name of stones and stocks. They tried to put God they tried to name stones and stocks after a god, okay, or their god. They try to name their god after stones and stocks, okay, idol worship basically. But there's a scripture, I can't remember where it is, where it says that the idols can't defend themselves, clean themselves from dust. Let me see if I can find it, because that's what I wanted to read. Because these idols here, man, they're not going to be able to do anything, okay. cannot find it. All right, here it goes. Here goes some of it. Right here goes a few different precepts on it. All right, it says the concept that idols are helpless, lifeless objects that cannot clean, save, or help themselves, or who or those who worship them is a recurring theme in the King James Bible, particularly in the Old Testament. This the most direct description of idols being powerless and needing to be carried are found in Isaiah and Psalms 115. So Isaiah 46 and Psalms 115. So here goes. The one I was looking for, I wanted is in Sirach, but I can't find it. Or at least I think it's in Sirach. Okay. It says here, uh, Isaiah 46, 6 and 7, it says, describes the idols as, let me just get it. It's only giving me like a synopsis of it. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 6. It says, they lavish gold out of the bag and weigh silver in the balance and hire the goldsmith, and he maketh it a god. They fall down and worship. Yea, they worship. They bear him up upon the shoulder. They carry him and set him in his place, and he standeth. From his place shall he not remove. Yea, one shall cry unto him, yet can he not answer nor save him out of his trouble. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. All right. Verse 9 it says, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh and there is none else. I am Yahweh and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. All right, these are the things that idols can't do. These are the things that idols won't do. Okay. All right, this is Psalms 115 and 4, speaking on the same type of thing. This is Psalms 114 and 115 and 4. It says, their idols are silver. Let me start at 1. It says, not unto us, O Yahweh, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory for thy mercy and for thy truth's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their power? But our power is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. He hath pleased. All right. Verse 4 it says, their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not, have eyes, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses, but noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak thou through their throat. They that make them are like unto them, so is everyone that trusteth in them. O Israel, trust thou in Yahweh, he is their help and their shield. All right? That's what we need to trust in. Yahweh, not in these idols, okay? All right? And I'm going to go to Habakkuk because it mentions Habakkuk chapter 2. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 18. It says, what profiteth the graven image that the maker thereof hath graven it? The molten image and the teacher, the molten image and a teacher of lies, that the maker of his works trusteth therein to make dumb idols. Woe unto him that said to the wood, awake, and to the dumb stone, arise. It shall teach, behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. But Yahweh is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. So these idols, they can't do anything for you, man. So don't be out here idol worshiping. Okay? All right, Lord, will you is edified. I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. I want to give up honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who we want to teach well. Hardy Shalom to the elect. Kwam Yasharala, Mawaf Lababal, Yahweh Mahar, Havashai, Nawab, Abishai, Shalom.